Mhm. Okay, so we should be streaming. I'm just checking the audio. So, can you hear me clearly? Okay, perfect. So, there is nobody here at the moment. That's okay, no problem. I know it's the middle of the day for most people. Usually I do my live streams or put my videos out very late in the evening. So I know it's a bit early, but hopefully we will have a few people join. We do. Okay, perfect. We've got a couple of people here. So hi everyone. Nice to see you today. I hope you're enjoying your day. So today I'm going to go through a few advanced vocabulary, some advanced phrasal verbs, or everyday phrasal verbs, I should say. They're not so advanced, but you will definitely come across them at some point during your English language journey. And I also have a couple of surprises in there for you as well too. So let me just move this so I can actually see the chat, because I want to be able to see you. Okay, perfect. So if I share, here we go. Okay, so if you want access to the notes from this live stream, if you saw my last live stream, you will have those notes already. They are added onto that live lesson document that I shared with you. If you want access to these notes, you can't find them, you didn't see my last live stream, don't worry, I will leave in the comments how you can access these notes and we can go through them together. Hi, Sonia. Hi, welcome. So yes, I will let you know at the end of the live how you can have access to these notes that I'm going to be working through. If this is your first time seeing me, hi, my name is Catherine. I'm an English teacher. I work with intermediate to advanced level students, and I mostly focus on business English or English for academic purposes. So definitely subscribe if this is your first time here and you are an intermediate to advanced level student. So let's get started then with our first word. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you the words, and then I want you to create examples in the chat, and I will correct your examples if they need correcting. If they're perfect, fantastic. So our first word today, as you can see, is condone. Condone, or past tense, condoned. Now this means to accept, but it's a bit more advanced than accept because you're accepting somebody's behavior that typically is wrong or not acceptable, potentially offensive. So let's say a colleague has done something wrong. You might say, we don't condone that behavior in this office. Let me write that for you. We don't condone that, we could say, kind of behavior in this office. So we don't accept, we don't allow that kind of behavior in this office. Or alternatively, he condoned the behavior as it was the first time it happened. So he accepted the behavior, even though it was bad behavior, because it was only the first time it happened. Maybe some of you have children and your children do something wrong, but they don't know that they've done something wrong. It's the very first time. So you don't punish them. You just explain to them, this is something wrong. Hi, Loris. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. So does anyone want to give me an example in the chat of the word condone? I know Lotfi likes to give examples, so hopefully he is here today. Condone, to accept. You often see this in very formal writing. So for example, an employee contract, or even a contract when you enter an aeroplane or a hotel. It might say, we don't condone XYZ, or this will not be condoned XYZ. Okay, so if there are no examples with that word, we can move on to our next word, which, as you can see, is waffle. Waffle. Now, of course, you know that waffle is like a pancake, a sweet treat that you can eat in the morning for breakfast. Americans, Canadians like to eat waffles for breakfast. But what I'm talking about here with the word waffle, with the verb waffle, or to waffle on, or waffling, is to talk for a long time about something and not get straight to the point. So maybe you have a colleague, a friend that likes to talk in circles. They start on this point and then they move to this point and then they move to this point. And they go round and round in circles and they never really get to the point that you need them to get to. So by saying they were waffling on means they were talking in circles. They were going round and round, but never actually gave me the answer, for example. So let me give you some examples. I like my new colleague, but he likes to waffle a lot. So this does not mean he likes to make pancakes in the morning. This means he likes to talk about the same thing again and again and again, and it's kind of boring or confusing. He doesn't get straight to the point. Perhaps you're in a meeting and somebody is explaining something. They might say, I don't want to waffle on. I don't want to waffle on. Let's get straight to the point. Meaning, again, I don't want to go on and round in circles and waste your time. This is what we're talking about today. Past tense, waffled. I liked the speech on Friday, but I felt the speaker waffled on a little. So the speaker didn't get directly to their point. They were going round and round in circles. Pharmacist Skills Education says hi. Hi. So does anyone want to give me an example with the word waffle? Maybe you know someone that waffles. Maybe you've heard somebody use the phrase to waffle on. Let's see if anyone can think of any examples in the comments, in the chat. No examples? Okay, no problem. We will move. Hi, Lotfi. Nice to see you. I'm so glad you're here because not many people are giving me examples. So perhaps you can give me an example for the next word we are going to look at, which is reciprocate. Reciprocate, or past tense, reciprocated. To reciprocate, it was reciprocated. So this means returned. A feeling, an action was returned. So for example, if I say, I miss you, and you reciprocate that feeling, you miss me too. You are returning that feeling. If I treat you very nicely and you reciprocate that action, it means you are returning the action. So it's to react to something in the same way that the person has treated you or spoken to you. So we might use an example like this. I miss you. Oh, sorry, my computer's going a bit slow today. I miss you. Do you reciprocate those feelings? Now, this is a bit formal. You would probably just say, do you miss me too? But just so you understand the meaning of the sentence, the meaning of the word, do you reciprocate those feelings? Do you return those feelings? She was very angry. He reciprocated and made the situation worse. So in this sentence, I mean, she was very angry. She was showing anger. And he reacted in exactly the same way. He returned those feelings, those actions. And as we all know, fighting anger with anger causes more anger. It doesn't cause less anger. What about a more useful example? Let's say you work in an office and your boss has been very kind to you over the year and you got your bonus at the end of the year. You feel very happy to be there. You might say, the team and I want to reciprocate the generosity you have shown us. We bought you all being the bosses, we bought you all a bottle of wine, let's say, for example. Okay, so in this example, your bosses, your managers have treated you very well. Generosity is the noun of generous. Generous means to give you more than they needed to, be very kind. So the team, the managers, the bosses were very kind to the team, and the team wanted to reciprocate, to return those feelings. So we bought everyone a bottle of wine to say thank you, to show you we return those feelings. So any examples for me for the word reciprocate? Or reciprocated, we could use as well. Any examples for reciprocated? Past tense. He reciprocated the feeling. No examples so far. Okay, no problem. If I see an example, I'll come back to it. So let's move on then to our next word. Our fourth word today is reputable. Reputable. The student, here's a good example from Sonia. The student waffled on as he hadn't studied enough. Perfect, exactly. Because the student hadn't practiced, hadn't gone through what he wanted to say before going into the exam. He waffled on. He didn't get to his point. Perfect example. Lotfi also says, most of women waffle not like men. My opinion, his opinion. So most women don't get straight to the point, directly to the point. Good example. Miranda says, sadly, not everyone reciprocates kindness. Really nice example. I just want to put one correction in there. So Miranda said, not everyone reciprocate kindness. This was Miranda's example. Now we need an S in there because it becomes an it's a general term, everyone. So reciprocates kindness. If it was one person, he doesn't reciprocate kindness. But as we're talking about everyone, it needs to be not everyone reciprocates kindness. Good, really nice example. And I agree, not everyone does reciprocate kindness. We need more kindness in the world. So our next word, reputable or reputably, is the adverb. Now, I will say the adverb is not often used, so you don't need to worry too much about this word reputably, and you don't need to worry too much about the pronunciation. It's quite difficult. Reputably. It's not often used, but reputable is often used, and reputable means, let me just scroll down so I can type it in for you. Reputable means to have a good reputation. It comes from the word reputation. So if I say, see, we've got reputation and reputable. So if I say something like, this came from a reputable source. Does anyone have any idea what that might mean? This came from a reputable source. Any guesses as to what that might mean? I'm just going to pause a little because I think... Miranda, she knew that typo. No problem at all. I'm just going to give the chat time to update itself. Whilst I do, I want to correct Sonia's example. I reciprocated my friend's generosity. I reciprocated my friend's generosity. You've missed one preposition here, which is by inviting her to eat out. So not eating out, but to eat out. Okay? Hello from Japan. Hello from Japan. Nice to see you. I just want to make my chat a bit bigger so I can see you all. It's brilliant to reciprocate with kind people, especially when make favorite for us. Nice. It's brilliant to reciprocate with kind people, especially when they make a favor would be better. Sonia, perfect example. BBC is a reputable source of information happening all over the world. Exactly. BBC is a reputable source means it has a good reputation. The BBC is known to have a good reputation. Every participant, please give a thumb up for Catherine. Thank you so much. That's really kind. If you haven't already thumbs up or subscribed, make sure you do. It helps. It really does help. So I'm going to write that example in there because that's perfect. BBC is a reputable source of information. Perfect. meaning the BBC has a good reputation. Actually, that should be capital letters because BBC is an acronym. Does anyone know what the BBC stands for? What's another example I can give you? Here we go. Although she was a very new teacher, she was very reputable. So although she was very new, although she didn't have a lot of experience, she had a very good reputation. Finding a reputable source is hard. Perfect. Exactly, Miranda. Exactly. Sometimes it can be really difficult to search something online and understand if what you've searched is correct or if it's just somebody has written that on the internet. Yes, I agree. Really nice explanation, really nice example. I don't see anyone telling me what BBC stands for. I'd like to know if there is anyone here that knows what it stands for. Lotfi, the reputable company has more credibility. Exactly, perfect. Perfect example. So the BBC stands for the British Broadcasting. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I can't remember if it's corporation or company, but I'm sure you're right. I'm sure it's probably corporation. Exactly. Okay, our final word today. Not end of the lesson, but final word. We have an adjective, which is intrinsic. Intrinsic, or the adverb intrinsically. This is another way of saying essential or naturally. Without this thing, the object, the person that you are describing cannot be the object or the person because it is natural, it is essential to them. So let's think of an example. Human beings are social animals. It is intrinsically, so I have to use the adverb here, it is intrinsically within their nature. So we are social animals. Even if we don't like being social, humans are social animals. So this is another way of saying it is natural for us. It is essential for us. What about she didn't take the job because it did not align. Align is just another way of saying line up. Align with her intrinsic values, her natural values, her essential values. For her, whoever she is, she will only take a job if it feels right and matches what she believes is essential and natural. It's quite a difficult one to think of examples for this, but if you have got any examples. Sonia's example for reputable. My ability to bake a cake is by far more reputable than her one. Nice. Very good. I could say that about my cooking. I like baking, definitely, but I'm not a very good cook. So I could definitely say somebody else's cooking is far more reputable than mine. You might say, in order to be a doctor, it is an intrinsic value to be patient. So think about it. A doctor has to talk to many people every single day. And sometimes those people can be frustrated, upset, scared. So the doctor has to be patient. So naturally, a doctor has to be patient. It's an intrinsic value. Perfect example, Miranda. It is difficult to change anyone's intrinsic character. Nice. I really like that example. I'm going to add that to our list here. It is... Oh, I've just forgotten what you said. It is difficult. It is difficult to change anyone's intrinsic character. Exactly. Perfect. Good afternoon. If you've just joined, good afternoon. So any more examples? If not, we will move on to our phrasal verbs. Also, how is everyone's day going? For me, it's the end of the day, actually. So I've had quite a few students today, and I'm doing this live stream as my end of day work, and then I will relax. What about everyone else? Are you at work? Are you at home? Are you waiting to go into work? Is it your day off? What are you up to today? Okay, so let's look at phrasal verbs. Some of these you may know, some you may not. So to go off as in alarm clock. So when we wake up in the morning and our alarm clock makes a sound and we have to turn it off 4 or 5 times. Actually, I am someone who, as soon as I hear my alarm, I wake up. But I know some people it takes 4 or 5 times before they actually wake up. So when we talk about this moment that the alarm clock makes a sound, we say the alarm clock goes off. So I am sorry, I was late to work this morning. My alarm clock didn't go off, meaning my alarm clock didn't make a sound. It didn't wake me up. What time do you usually... No, sorry, that's wrong. What time does... I was thinking, what time do you usually wake up? But that doesn't give you a good example. What time does your alarm clock go off? Meaning, what time does your alarm clock make a noise? And when we decide what time we want our alarm clock to go off, we say we set the alarm. What time have you set the alarm for? Have you set the alarm? 7 a.m. It will go off at 7 a.m. You were waiting for my live stream. Thank you. I'm glad you were excited for my live stream. I'm excited to be here. Could you speak a little louder? Yes, I can certainly try. So what time does your alarm clock go off? Oh, thank you, T2. I wish I had a name that I could thank you properly, but thank you for your gift. I really appreciate it. So what time does everyone's alarm clock go off? Mine goes off at 8:30 in the morning, which is a bit later than a lot of people, but I work from home, so I don't have to take the train or the bus or drive. What time does your alarm clock go off? T2, if you let me know your name, I can thank you properly. Our next phrasal verb, get over, as in something or someone. So this is not to climb over or go over something. But to get over. So if I say, don't worry, you will get over it. Don't worry, you will get over it. Can you feel what this means? You will get over it. So to get over means for something to not be as painful or upsetting anymore. So think about a breakup or losing a job or finding a house that you really want to buy or rent, and somebody else rents it first of all, before you, sorry, not first of all, before you, and it upsets you. You need time to get over it means eventually it won't be so upsetting, but you will eventually recover. Exactly, Sonia, recover. You will eventually recover from this situation. Tatsuiko, thank you. That's very, very kind of you. I appreciate it. And I'm so glad the videos are helpful. If a fire breaks out, the alarm will go off. Exactly, perfect. So what are some things you could get over? You could get over losing a job. You could get over a breakup. You could get over losing a friendship. It's something that takes time, but you will eventually recover. I'm getting over this tough time. Exactly. Perfect example. Good. Exactly. I lost my job. I was very upset, but I am getting over it. I am recovering from it. Good. Okay, back up. Back up. As in to support someone or something. So if you back someone up or back something up, as it says in the brackets, is to support something, an idea, a thought, an opinion, a person. My boss blamed me for the delayed project, but my team backed me up. Past tense is backed me up, meaning my team supported me and said, you know, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't this person's fault. All of humanity got over COVID-19. Yes, they did. Some find it harder to get over some difficulties. Yeah, nice, exactly. Let's say my child does something wrong at school and I go to the teacher and actually I back up my child, means I support my child. I don't agree with the teacher. I actually think my child is in the right. Or you're being blamed for something, being told off for something, and somebody backs you up. It means supports you. They support what you are doing, what you have said, so we can back up an idea, an opinion, a thought, a person, a situation. Okay? So if I say, I think everyone should have blue houses, and you agree with me, you might say, I back up Catherine's opinion. You also agree that everyone should have a blue house. Our next one, leave out, as in to exclude something, or left out, past tense. Now I've put this one in here because it is often separated. You see here, I've got the cross because it's often separated. So if I said to you, leave out the plan, it makes more sense. But if I said to you, leave the plan out of the what? Out of the folder. Maybe this might confuse you because we've got the plan in here. But all this means is exclude the plan from the folder. Exclude the plan from the folder. I want you to email that client, but please leave out the cost of the project. So here I'm saying exclude exclude the cost of the project. Do not include the cost of the project. I want you to leave it out. Okay, so in general, when we use leave out, we are talking about something from a plan, from a project, from an idea, but we can also, not so much as adults, but definitely as children, leave a person out. This is more something you see at school between children, but I'm sure we can all remember a group of friends that didn't invite us to something. Or maybe you have children and one of your children is not being invited to something. So again, you would say leave a person out. Please do not leave your sister out. Do not exclude your sister from your games, from your activities. And our last phrasal verb today is see to. See to, as in to do something. So if I say to you, can you see to it that the dogs get fed? Question mark. It's a question. I just mean, can you make sure? Can you do this action that I'm asking you? Can you contact the client? Yes, I will see to it. Meaning, yes, I will do it. Of course, I'll contact the client. I will see to it. Typically, we say see to it, so it should be see to it whenever you use it. The project is taking too long. Can you see to it that the team works quicker? So can you do this thing? Can you make sure this thing is organized? It's giving somebody else responsibility or it's taking responsibility. Giving or taking responsibility for an action. Okay? So finally, I want to do one quick grammar rule with you, and I know grammar can be very tiring, very boring, so I've just picked one, and we're going to go through it quickly. So this is when you are asked, have you ever done this? Have you ever eaten this? Have you ever seen this? Okay, so when we ask this question, have you ever, it always needs to be followed by the past participle, which is the third version of the verb. Sometimes I see people saying, let me write this down here. Sometimes I see people saying, have you ever ate strawberries? This is incorrect. It needs to be, have you ever eaten? It is always followed by the past participle. Have you ever went swimming? Again, this is incorrect. It needs to be followed by the past participle, the third version of the verb. Have you ever been swimming? Have you ever sing a song? Again, incorrect. Past participle needs to be, have you ever sung a song? And exactly the same with your answers. So if you are answering, let me just highlight this to break this up. I don't know about you, but for me it helps if things have a color coordination. It helps break it into sections and doesn't look like too much to learn. So if you want to answer any of these questions with yes, I have, it's exactly the same. You need the third participle, the past participle, the third version of the verb. So, yes, I have been swimming. No, sorry, I won't do no just yet. Yes, I have eaten snails. Yes, I have. What else? Played the piano. Same again if you want to answer the negative, okay? So if we want to answer in the negative, no, I have never been to Spain. No, I have never run a marathon. No, I have never spoken English. We always need the past participle. So let's just check in the comments. Can you ask me a question? Have I ever done something? And if your question is correct, I will answer it for you. Have you ever been to the USA? Yes, I have been to the USA. Have you ever driven a truck? That's a good question. No, I have never driven a truck. Or, shorter, no, I haven't driven a truck. Have you ever seen the moon at night? Yes, I have. I love seeing the moon at night. I've just seen my brother in the comments. Hi! Okay, so my turn to ask you. Have you ever... Oh, let me think of a good example first. Okay. Have you ever eaten Yorkshire pudding? Have you ever eaten Yorkshire pudding? How would you answer this question? Or similar question, have you ever eaten fish and chips? Have you ever eaten pizza? Yes, exactly. What would you say if you have never? So with my question, have you ever eaten Yorkshire pudding? Have you ever eaten fish and chips? How would you answer that question grammatically in the correct way? Double salute to your brother. My brother's on his lunch break at work, so I'm not sure why he's watching me on his lunch break. He should be relaxing. Okay, no examples, no more examples for have or have ever. I hope that makes sense to everybody. So we need the past participle, the third version of the verb. I don't want to see anybody saying, have you ever gone Spain? Have you ever been to Spain? After this one, I'm going to move on to my very final point for this lesson. So if there are any examples, write them for me now. No more examples? Okay. So finally today, I want to go through a tongue twister with you. Now, if you don't know what a tongue twister is, I'm sure you do, but if you don't, it's something that is difficult to pronounce, and every language has them. So maybe let me know in the comments below typical tongue twisters in your language. But a very famous one in English is she sells seashells on the seashore. She sells seashells on the seashore. Now, if you can say that again and again and have a clear pronunciation, that will help you with your pronunciation skills. So one more time. She sells seashells on the seashore. If you would like some more pronunciation tips, tricks, I've linked the article in the document here, as you can see. This is an article written by myself, and there are some tricks in there, some more of these tongue twisters that you can go through. So if you would like to try some of those, you absolutely can. But that is all from me today. I really hope you've enjoyed this live lesson. If you would like the notes from the live lesson, what I will ask you to do is send me an email and write live lesson, and I will send you this document. If you joined the last live lesson, the very first live lesson that I did, you do not need to send me another email. These notes are on the bottom of that document you already have. But if you would like for me to send sorry, it's been a long day. If you would like for me to send you that document again because you've lost it or it's somewhere in your emails, absolutely send me an email. I will write in the comments how you can do that, and I will send these notes through to you. Thank you. Thank you everyone for all your support and your comments and your examples. I really enjoy doing these live streams. I really enjoy talking to you all, and hopefully one day I will see you in a lesson. But if not, that's absolutely fine. I have quite a few videos lined up for next week. So keep an eye out. I have 3 videos in my mind that I want to film. So keep an eye out for those. And I wish everyone the best of the rest of their day. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you next time.